Hi, fourth grade. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing well. I hope everybody is staying safe and washing their hands. Today is week 5, day 4 of our DCPS packets, and we are going to continue exploring the rock cycle. Today we will need our text, our writing directions with the prompt on it, and it also has that little chart of transition words that are change of direction. We will need option A of our planning sheet that looks like a 3-paragraph outline, and we'll also need that sheet of lined paper for our draft, and of course a pencil. Today our tasks are going to be to understand the prompt, to plan our writing, to draft our writing, to revise our writing, and then to publish our writing. Our first task, of course, in any writing scenario is to read the prompt and then to understand it. Because if we don't read and understand what we're being asked to do, we're not going to set ourselves up for success. So first, let's read the prompt. You have been researching the rock cycle. Write an essay describing the rock cycle. In your essay, include details about each type of rock: sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. About how each type of rock, sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic, is created. Make sure to include evidence from the text in your response. I want you guys to reread the prompt one more time and underline what you are being asked to do. So you should have underlined describe the rock cycle and include details about how each type of rock is created. Now let's tap it out. Remember, we're identifying the topic, the audience, and the purpose. I want you to pause your video and I want you to tap it out on your own. So on any sheet of paper, I would like you to identify the topic, what we are writing about, the audience, who we are writing to, and the purpose why we are writing. So go ahead and pause your video and do that, please. So you can see our topic is what we're writing about is describing the rock cycle. So the rock cycle. And we're writing about how each type of rock is created. Our audience is going to be non-experts because we are the experts on the rock cycle after studying it all week. And our purpose is to inform about the rock cycle. Planning our writing. So you're going to take your topic from our tab and you're just going to pop it right into that top line of your option A sheet. So our topic is the rock cycle and how each type of rock is created. And then you're going to try to think of a topic sentence. And dividing these 3 paragraphs should have been pretty easy in your head because you need to talk about how many types of rock? 3. How many types of rocks did we learn about and study this week? 3. Great. Sedimentary, igneous, metamorphic. It's pretty easy to chunk it apart. So I want you guys to plan your writing. Now, go ahead and pause the video. I want you to think about how to plan your own writing. You guys have already written a very similar essay on this. You should be an expert at this topic, and you should really grapple with how to plan this essay and how you best want to inform your reader. You should go back to see what you annotated and see which 3 details you want to include for each type of rock. Thinking about you need to describe the rock cycle and describe how that rock is created. Okay? You don't want to include irrelevant details about that type of rock that aren't talking about its cycle and how it's created. So if it doesn't have to do with the cycle and how it's created, you don't want to include that. Pause your video here, plan your writing. Here's how I set mine up. I said for my topic sentence, rocks are formed through the never-ending, let me pause myself or get myself away. Rocks are formed through the never-ending process of the rock cycle, where rocks are created, destroyed, and renewed. And then you see, I'm going to define what sedimentary rocks are. I'm going to say how they're formed, and then I want to quote from the text to back up my claims. And then I'm going to use this transition word bank that they gave me in my plan. On the other hand, igneous rocks are created through very different processes versus sedimentary rocks. And then I'm going to set up my igneous rock paragraph very similarly. And then my third topic sentence, however, metamorphic rocks are formed through different processes. And then I set up my metamorphic rock paragraph very similarly to the other three. And then my concluding sentence, even though metamorphic, igneous, and sedimentary rocks all formed in different ways, they are all formed during the never-ending rock cycle. So I still have that key idea that they are all formed during this never-ending process of the rock cycle. So I want you guys, if you haven't finished planning your writing, to finish planning it now. Remember, in our plans, we need to plan with fragments, or else this plan would take us all day to plan out these 3 paragraphs, okay? So now we're going to draft. We're taking this plan to a draft. We should write complete sentences. They should be nice and complex. So here's my draft of just my first paragraph and the start of my second. Since it's 3 paragraphs, it would be really long, and the text would be so small you guys wouldn't really be able to see it. So here's my example of my draft. Now I'm going to show you how I revised it. So I'm going to read it to you because you might have noticed my draft was kind of wimpy. So I really want to show you how I use my revision checklist to beef it up a little. So I really wanted to focus on adding more descriptive details, adding more concrete words or phrases, and then I highlighted too how I grouped similar ideas, because I talk about one type of rocks and then another type of rock. Rocks are formed through the never-ending process of the rock cycle, where rocks are created, destroyed, and renewed. Sedimentary rocks are solid materials in the earth that you can recognize by their patterns of lines or their interesting shapes caused by erosion. Furthermore, sedimentary rocks are formed by sediments piling up. Then the weight presses on the layers and layers of sediment until rock is formed. According to the text, erosion and deposition are key processes in the formation of sedimentary rock. On the other hand, igneous rocks are created through different processes versus sedimentary rocks. Igneous rocks begin as magma deep inside the Earth's surface. And then I would have continued on to my next sentence for that. So that is just how I revised my first paragraph and the start of my second. See how much I added in green and then in blue? So now it's time to publish your writing once you're all done revising all 3 of your paragraphs. Here are some examples. One example is you could totally take it a creative route and put all of your paragraphs kind of into a poster, very similar to the CSI thinking routine that we did before we got out of school. You guys remember how we did a color symbol image for each rock type in the cycle? So that's kind of what this student did in the first example on the left side of your screen, and then each paragraph is kind of scattered throughout. This is so cool, so creative, so awesome. And then to the right, this student's example is kind of 3 paragraphs broken down, typed, explaining the rack cycle, and then they have a diagram. I think anytime you're talking about the rack cycle and writing about it as an expert, having a diagram is really going to help your reader understand the process. So when you're publishing and you're informing somebody about it, I would include a diagram along with your work. When I publish mine, I, of course, publish to my tried and true audience, Pablo. He is the best audience in the world. He loved it. He's learning so much about racks. He's going to be the most informed dog ever after this learning is done. Our enrichments for this week, we have a Khan Academy video that you can click on the link in the description and watch. It's about a 5-minute video. It's pretty funny and great. Brain Pop. There is a new app on Clever called Brain Pop. You can click on this link in the description, but you have to be logged into Clever to get on it. So it'll redirect you to log into Clever to be able to access it. So watch the video. It's kind of cool. It's like a cartoon that you might see on like Nickelodeon, and then take the quiz on it. It's pretty fun. And then there's another link on the Mineral for Kids. That's another really good diagram to check out. And also check out STEM Scopes for more work for that. Miss Eurythia has also been uploading some YouTubes for you guys that are awesome. She's been doing such a great job. So check out her YouTube for some updates as well. All right, you guys stay safe. Keep washing your hands. Make sure you are getting to school to pick up your next week 6 and 7 packets. Please keep reaching out to your teachers, texting them if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or needs. We love you, we miss you, and we wish we could be back at school teaching you. Thank you so much for making the best out of this and keep your brains working and learning. All right, until next time, bye-bye.